I don't think there was any point where I've decided specifically that I wanted to be a photographer. It kind of just happened over sort of my whole teenage years. My dad gave me a camera. It was a Canon AE1. The first surf shots I shot with that and Gary were with that camera. They weren't very good, but it was a good way to start. The first big trip I ever went on that sort of put my name out there a little bit was 7 Days, 7 Slaves for Waves magazine, which is, I think a lot of people think that's a pretty iconic trip. You know, it was really, really high performance surfers at that time, and I was lucky enough to get invited to come along with Peter Boscovich, who was a leading surf photographer as well, and we were there for the 7 days, and we had a whole magazine published on the trip, and it was to me that was so exciting. I couldn't believe that we had a whole magazine and that I had half of it were my photos. You know, previously I'd had a couple of photos published here and there, and that was pretty cool, but to see it all laid out in one magazine of like people like Taj Burrow and Ozzie Wright was just pretty special. Yeah, I definitely think that on that 7 Day, 7 Slaves trip, the surfing by Ozzie in particular really sort of catapult like the free surfing thing into the mainstream, and that was his big breakout as well. And I feel like for myself, the trip was kind of like, from a photographer's point of view, my kind of breakout in the same way. I'd never really considered that I'd been covered like 3 generations of free surfing until we went on that boat trip a while back where we had the 3 generations. We had Taj and Ozzie, we had yourself, Dane and Craig, and then Noah and Creed, which was perfect, like covered the 3 generations perfectly. And I looked around, and it's like you could just see it there, and I was like, wow, I've actually been doing this for that long and covered all these lads, and it's still sick. And then they've all come together. But I never really consciously thought about it. I guess it just happened because I'm pretty old now. During my whole career, even though I was shooting with guys like Taj and guys that were on tour, I never shot tour events. It was always the free surfing that we did. Like, you know, Taj loves to go free surfing and film and stuff, so we did a lot of that. I get excited to shoot with guys like Craig, Ozzie, Chipper, yourself, because a lot of the time they just keep you on your toes, you know. You're never bored, it's never repetitive really. It's always just like something new and exciting coming, like it's some kind of crazy air or a wild finner, or even just like, who knows, like something in between that's rad. It doesn't even have to be an air or a turn, it's just like this weird shit in between. I think the best shots come when it just happens naturally, especially when you're working with these kind of free surfers and they're like pretty free-spirited. You kind of just got to let them do their thing, and they will do something sick, so you just let it happen and just take a picture of it. For the most part, we're just traveling and we're just pals. It just happens that you guys are surfing and I'm taking pictures, and we kind of think the same way. But yeah, you can also read the situation. Like, you don't want to be that dickhead that's like saying you have to stay out there for another hour because it's going to be sunset golden light soon, even though it would make a mental picture. Yeah, you don't want to just be like that arsehole they don't want to hang out with anymore. These days, with print declining in the surf industry, less and less magazines out there, you know, they're dying by the day, and I love print, and I just thought it'd be cool just to do my part to keep it alive and to catalogue my imagery into like a tangible thing that people can like take and keep and like put on their coffee table and stuff. I'm really happy to have a platform to put it out there. The black and white Ozzie method is definitely one of my favourite photos I've ever taken. Like that one photo Ozzie to me, like stands the test of time. It's just as good as anything I've ever taken since, or can get today, tomorrow, anything. It's epic. I've got it blown up right over there on the wall. Oh, the Surf Pals photo. Well, it's got 3 of my favourite surfers and 3 of my really good pals in there. We've got Craig Anderson, Ozzie Wright and yourself. To get all you guys in frame like that, it's such a fun moment. Ozzie's hair flicking out like a psycho. That and the other photo of Ozzie, they're probably my 2. That's probably number 1 and 2 of my favourite photos. Surf photography it's a good gig, but I think a lot of people start to take it a bit too seriously these days. And for me, it's much about the good times as it is about the job. Like, I love the good times with my friends, and an afternoon beer after we shoot or whatnot is my favourite bit. We're doing it right now.
The sun shines, but I don't. The silver rain will wash away, and you can tell it's just as well, and you can tell it's just as well. To every hour in every day. Good.